Good morning, everybody, and this is your Forex day trade setups today. So starting with Euro USD, and we had a pretty solid move to the upside. I'm going to assume that this is an exhaustion bar at the moment. There is a little bit of structure ahead of us. You can see there it is there, and a little bit higher there's more structure, and then there's structure to the downside. So if we just come down to the hour, bearing in mind that this is the last trading day of the month, so we're either going to sort of range here, or I would expect us to come off ever so slightly. So the reason for that is most bars don't close on their highs, so or on their lows for that matter. So there's normally a tail somewhere along the line. So at the moment we've got a very small tail on the specifically on the weekly. If you look at this, you can see there's the weekly. We've started here, big tail to the downside, and now we have a small body. Monthly is a different story because we have open on its low and looks like closing its high, but that's also an inside bar there. So there's a lot going on here, which is indicating that we may actually be setting up for a move back to the upside, but long term that is. So for me today, quite simple. We're looking at this previous swing high. That's the area I would expect us to find some buyers, and that's 116.652, and more than likely 116.870 is the upside. Personally, I think being the last day of the month and where we are at the moment, I think I'd rather just sit on the sides at the moment and wait this one out. But if you're looking to scalp on the lower time frames, and these are your two levels, 116.652 and 116.870. Moving on to US dollar Japanese yen, nothing really going on there. We do have this head and shoulders now, so there's a shoulder, there's a head, there's a shoulder. This is the line in the sand, 113.416, so nothing has really changed from yesterday. And looking at Euro USD, you would expect this to follow suit. So probably worth looking for some structure here for a selling opportunity, but there's nothing where we are now. And the fact that we've got tails to the upside, tails to the downside so early in the morning on the first 2 hour bars, that is a proper warning for me anyway. So levels to the upside, as far as I'm concerned, we need to get above 113.726 and retest. Problem with that is that the moving averages are in the opposite direction. Look at the oscillators. So logic is you're probably going to reject that level, or alternatively you're looking to break below this 113.416 to look for a short. So I would assume that we need to start looking for a move to the downside. And looking at the weekly, you can see inside bar at the moment. And if we get to the monthly, nothing really going on at the monthly except we're a little bit tired. So yeah, another one to actually just sit and wait as far as I'm concerned. Moving on to British pound, a Japanese yen, still very much in this flag. Trend is up. We've consolidated for 2 weeks now. Oscillators coming off quite nicely, but no real direction just yet. We obviously looking for some break of that channel. So look at all these tails from yesterday, and this is just an indication of confusion. It's barbed wire, tails to the upside, tails to the downside, in amongst the moving averages at the moment. So yeah, this level is still the one to pay attention to, 156.582. Want to find support. Does look like we found support with these two pin bars on there, and then moving to the top of the channel. So this one for me is really, I'm waiting, really still sitting and waiting on the sidelines. I'm looking for this channel to break, retest for a much bigger move to the upside. So patience is key here. I'm not really interested in trading inside this channel just yet. Euro British pound. So let's get this other level in here. We've got a massive weekly level to the downside, and we broke below it, and now we've broken above this big level on the upside, which is 0.84639. So if we come back to the 1 hour, you can see a bit of a sell-off and then a continuation to the upside. And like I said yesterday, don't really want to be trading when we're sideways, because you think it's coming back. You had a break of it to the downside, so you assume it's going to break to the downside again, and it doesn't. It just basically reverses, and then we break to the upside. Does look like a bit of a flag. So if this 0.84639 holds this morning, and what I'd be doing is looking at these previous 2 bars. So right now I'd be looking for a fractal, and that's the only one in place. So a break above 0.84731 gets me long with a stop below the current low of the morning. So in other words, more than likely a London breakout strategy, but on the long side. If we're going to break down and come back into this range, I'm not interested in it, because it could go to the bottom or it could just suddenly reverse. There's just no structure inside a range. So we want to see if we can find support here. If we find support here, there's definitely an opportunity at the moment. And a bit of advice is 15-minute chart. You should see some form of a fractal form on the 15-minute. So in other words, your entry could be a little bit lower down, but at the moment, entry is up there. You need to see a break of that level, 0.84729. But pay attention, everything's lining up quite nicely for us to find support off this level. There's a bit of structure here on the 15 as well, but watch out for this gap down the bottom here. There's a gap there. So if I come back to the hour, you'll see on the back, on the gap, there's quite a bit of structure as well. So that would be a half decent opportunity to get in on this as well. And lastly, there is obviously that previous breakout, which would also be an opportunity to get back in on this. But I suspect just a gentle move to the downside and then a move up, or alternatively just find some support where we are now and then just bounce around until we break above this level. So that's probably the only pair that I can see a half decent opportunity, is if this range break is going to play out correctly. And it is a big head and shoulders as well. So there's the shoulder, it's actually a double shoulder, head, shoulder, and this is the neckline. Okay, anyway, that's it for me. Hope it helps, and enjoy the weekend. We'll catch up with you Monday morning. Cheers for now.